Now, artificial intelligence, or AI, is available more and more at our fingertips. Google has actually added an AI feature that summarizes search results at the top of the page. Not a huge fan myself. Some of their information is just flat out wrong, like suggesting that you could eat one small rock a day because it's a good source of vitamins and minerals, putting glue on pizza toppings to add to tackiness, and telling you that the astronauts have actually met cats on the moon and, in fact, played with them. Not true. I'm almost positive. It's happening because AI doesn't necessarily know what's true, just what's popular, even if it's satire, what people are feeding it as far as information goes. Here's the thing, there's also AI tools that can help you plan for retirement, but I have to wonder, is that better than actually working with a person?
Yeah, well, I think there's a few reasons why you can't totally replace a financial advisor with AI. And the very top of my list, it is because AI recommended putting glue on top of your pizza.
Sure.
Exactly.
I think that alone shows how much more work there is to be done with the technology, getting it up to speed. Now, I think it's worth noting that most technologies they do progress along very quickly, and that in a few years, even just a couple of years, I think AI could really be positive in the advisory space.
Mhm.
But you know, if and when AI starts to become more accurate and more useful, you can still only rely on technology so much when it comes to managing your entire life savings and your entire livelihood.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, AI, what is AI? AI is a bunch of computer codes and it's a just ginormous amount of data. Um, you know, the team at OpenAI and Google and Amazon and all the other AI companies, they just pile together a bunch of data wherever they get their data source from. We're not entirely sure if it's good data, bad data. Like you said, Chris, it um, could be joking data where it's not
Mhm.
even accurate. We have no way to know how these companies are really using this data. So when you think about going back to managing your entire livelihood, your entire life savings, do you really want your data being managed by, or your money being managed by this black box of whatever AI is?
Yeah, one of the things that I've always said with this is it's only as smart as the information that they get, right? I mean,
Right.
it's garbage in, garbage out. And, we've talked about this in the past. AA is not, you have to embrace technology and you have to embrace things moving forward and progressing. I get all of that. And one of the things I've always said is, I'll shop. I said this when we had this topic up here 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago or so. I'll shop and get information and educate myself on a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I want to sit down with someone and build that relationship, have
Hmm.
that trust, look at you eye to eye, and make my decisions based on your expertise and your knowledge. And AI can help us. When you look at it from the processing side of things, where we're at behind the scenes, so to speak, is you know we can type letters and it'll give us templates and documents, and you basically type in what you want the letter to sound like or look like. If it's a resume,
Hmm.
I remember many years ago trying to come up with a resume. It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to keep the job I have. I don't want to go through this. Now you can go onto AI, type in resume, and it'll fill out a lot of that information for you based on information that they've put in from other resumes, I'm guessing,
Right.
from people that have been around, putting in the resumes. You know, there again, pizza, glue on pizza. Eating rocks. I mean, we used to eat rocks when we were kids, but we didn't have any idea they were nutritional factors involved, right? Where else do you see AI helping with what you do?
Yeah, so I've talked about why I wouldn't want to use AI as a standalone solution to my financial advisory needs. Like I said, we don't know where that data is coming from. It doesn't have any human reasoning, such as putting glue on pizza. It doesn't have any interpersonal skills. It
Right.
doesn't know what a person who would be sitting across from it, I guess. They don't know what that type of person is going through, what types of emotional decisions that person might make, in a financial sense, which would affect your financial plan. What I do think AI would be very helpful for, and what I think that we personally do a very good job of, is leveraging technology. So I don't think it has to be just humans or just AI. I think what we do a really good job of is leveraging all the technology at our disposal.
Sure.
you know, building portfolios, coming up with a correct risk score for our portfolio, coming up with a good risk to return ratio for our portfolios. All of that is taken from different technology applications, which have, you know, billions of data points from the whole universe of investing over a decade and, you know, a century before it, really. So I think there's definitely a good balance to be struck. I think that a combination of human oversight and human reasoning with the vast computing power of technology is a really good combination, a really good way to go.
You know, for me, with what I do, you know, one of the biggest things that I do is I build a relationship with somebody. And kind of, you mentioned it perfectly, you know, AI, you know, sitting across the table from a computer, and the computer says, this is what you should do, right? They're not hearing their story, you know. I deal with seniors. I deal with people 65 and older, and people under 65. But you know, the bulk of my business is people on Medicare, and they all have a story. They all have a medication that is keeping them out of pain, or for some people, it's keeping them alive. And you lose that human touch, that interaction. And a lot of people just want to tell their story, and they want you to sympathize with them, and that's very important, and you lose that with AI. So, you know, I agree with you. Like you said, I think it's a combination of both. You know, just like in be diversified in a portfolio, you want to make sure that you access all of the resources available, and technology is one of those resources.
Can I just say one final thing? Have you ever used, you know, ChatGPT or Gemini, which is Google's product? I'm not sure if you use it at all or if you use it very much. But whenever I've used it, it never has any nuance at all in it.
Right.
It just gives you the most general. It gives you,
Yes.
if you submitted it for a paper in school, you'd get a C on everything the AI produces. So I don't know if you want to put your whole portfolio into AI generated content.
Sure.
Certainly not. And well, first of all, Scott, I picked up on this. I have to wonder why you're looking up how to write resumes.
Well, yeah. Well, no.
We'll save that for
That
another
is a good
discussion
point,
later on.
Chris.
Yeah, Nolan's not here, so-
We won't tell anybody. But I mean, technology is not something that should be feared. It should be embraced, but it should be worked, you know, in tangent with that human element. Make sure that the math that it does is sound and not telling you to do things like put glue on your pizza or put rocks in your portfolio, things like that. The checks and balances is something that the team, being able to adapt with the changes, is something that the team at America's Retirement Headquarters can do and does with clients. You know, every single day. And so to find out more and to find out how to get this synergy, I guess, with your retirement strategies, it's real easy as picking up the phone and giving a call, 419-794-3030, or go to the website, arhq.com.